In a quiet village called Odamuchi in Nigeria, there lived a man named Dr. James. Everyone in the village knew him. He was a tall man with fair skin and always wore clean clothes. He walked like a king and spoke with a soft voice. He was loved by many people because he was the only doctor in the whole village. Dr. James had a big hospital. His hospital had a blue roof and white walls. It was always clean. Outside the hospital, there were beautiful flowers and trees. He also had 4 big cars. One was red, another was white, the third one was black, and the last one was golden in color. People in the village looked at him with respect. They would say, "Dr. James is a blessing to this village." But what they didn't know was that Dr. James had a secret. A very bad secret. Dr. James was not just a doctor. He was also a ritualist. A ritualist is someone who does evil things with blood to get more money, power, and fame. But Dr. James hid it well. Nobody knew what he was doing. He always smiled and helped people so no one would ever suspect him. Dr. James had many houses in different villages. He had land, clothes, food, and workers who worked for him. People asked, "How does this doctor get so rich just by treating sick people?" But because he was kind on the outside, no one really asked him directly. Now, let me tell you what happened one day. A man named Mr. John came to Dr. James's hospital. His wife, Mary, was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant and very sick. She held her stomach and cried in pain. "My wife is in pain. Please help her, doctor." Mr. John shouted as he helped his wife into the hospital. Dr. James came out quickly and said, "Don't worry, bring her inside." He helped Mary into the labor room. But as he looked at her, something strange happened. His face changed. He smiled, but not the good kind of smile. He said to himself quietly, "This baby inside her is strong. I will use it." You see, Dr. James used unborn babies for rituals. He believed their blood gave him power and money. That was his secret. And Mary, Mr. John's wife, was about to be his next victim. He told Mr. John, "Sir, go home. We will take care of your wife. Come back in 1 week." Mr. John trusted Dr. James. He nodded and left the hospital. Inside the labor room, Dr. James prepared his sharp knife. Mary cried, "Doctor, what are you doing?" But he didn't listen. He spoke some strange words and tried to take the unborn baby. That night, Mr. John had a strange dream. He saw his wife screaming. Blood was running from her stomach, and she cried, "Save me!" Mr. John woke up sweating. The next day, he rushed to the hospital. Dr. James met him and said, "Your wife is not yet ready to deliver. Come back later." But something was wrong. Mary was weak and pale. She couldn't talk. Her eyes were open, but she didn't move. Mr. John cried and begged, "Doctor, please tell me the truth." But Dr. James walked away. A few weeks later, another pregnant woman named Joy was taken to the same hospital. Her husband, Mr. Solomon, also trusted Dr. James. Joy complained of waist pain and was taken into the labor room. Just like before, Dr. James smiled and waved his hand. But this time, something happened. A priest had heard strange stories about Dr. James. So, the priest followed Mr. Solomon to the hospital, holding his Bible. He stood near the hospital gate and started to pray. He prayed loudly, "Let the truth come out. Let light shine on darkness." Inside the hospital, Dr. James raised his knife again. But just as he was about to harm the baby, thunder struck. Boom! The sound was loud, and the lights in the hospital went off. Everyone in the hospital ran to the labor room. When they opened the door, they saw Dr. James holding the bloody knife. The priest rushed in with his Bible and shouted, "You are exposed." Dr. James fell to the ground and started to cry. He shouted, "I confess. I confess. I am a ritualist." The whole hospital went silent. The villagers who had gathered started to cry. Many women screamed, "What have you done to our babies?" Dr. James cried more. "I have used 110 unborn babies for money rituals," he said. The priest lifted his Bible and said, "You must repent." Dr. James knelt down and said, "Please pray for me. I want to change." The priest prayed for him. That same day, Dr. James closed the hospital. He went home and sat in his big living room, all alone. He looked around at his expensive chairs and said, "What have I done? These things are bought with blood." He started to sell all his cars. He sold his houses. He gave money to the families of the people he had hurt. Then he became poor. No more cars. No more workers. No more hospital. He was now alone in a small house with one chair and one bed. One day, he called the children in the village and sat them down. He said, "Children, listen to me. I was once a rich man. I had everything. But I did evil things to get them. I was not wise. I used innocent babies to make money. But now I have nothing. My heart is broken. But I have peace." The children listened with wide eyes. He continued, "Do not do bad things for money. Be kind. Be honest. Work hard. That is the only way to be truly happy." One small boy raised his hand and said, "Dr. James, are you still a bad man?" Dr. James smiled and said, "I was a bad man, but I have changed. And I will spend the rest of my life doing good." From that day, Dr. James started helping people with the little he had. He would sweep the village square, help old women carry water, and teach children how to read and write. He became a new man. And the village of Odamuchi never forgot what happened. They learned that no matter how someone looks on the outside, their heart could be hiding secrets. They also learned that it is never too late to change and do good. After Dr. James confessed that he was a ritualist and had used the blood of unborn babies to become rich, the whole village of Odamuchi was filled with shock, fear, and pain. People could not believe that the same doctor who had helped their families was the one who had been hurting them behind closed doors. Many women cried. Some could not sleep. Some fathers sat in silence, staring into space. They remembered how they lost their wives and unborn babies in that hospital. Now, it all made sense. "He is the one," an old woman said one evening in the village square. "He killed my daughter and her baby. They both died that day. I cried and cried. Now the truth has come out." The village elders called for another emergency meeting. People sat on mats and benches, children on their parents' laps. The sun was setting. The sky was red and orange, but no one was looking at the sky. All eyes were on the elders. One elder stood up. His name was Pa Sunday. His voice was deep and slow. "We have been fooled," he said. "Dr. James came to us like a sheep, but he was a wolf. We gave him respect. We trusted him. But he used our children to make money." People murmured. Some wiped their eyes. Another elder, Mama Chioma, stood and said, "But he confessed. He is sorry. Should we still punish him? Or should we help him to change?" That night, the village talked and talked. Some wanted to burn down his house. Some wanted him sent away. Others, mostly the women who had lost babies, said, "Let him feel our pain." But the priest who had exposed Dr. James came forward. His name was Pastor Amos. He held his Bible and said, "Let us not fight evil with evil. He has confessed. Let us watch him. If he is truly sorry, we will see it." The villagers agreed. They gave Dr. James a chance to change. But life was no longer easy for Dr. James. His big hospital was empty. The beautiful signboard was taken down. The workers ran away. The flowers outside dried up. His cars were sold. His big house was quiet. Dr. James now lived in a small room at the back of his old hospital. He had one bed, one chair, one pot, and one lantern. He wore plain clothes and old shoes. Every morning, He woke up early, swept the road in front of his room, and greeted people as they passed. "Good morning, Mama Titi." "Good morning, Uncle Sam." Some people replied. Some didn't. Some even spat on the ground when they saw him. Dr. James didn't complain. He went to the church every Sunday. He sat at the back, far from everyone else. He listened to the sermon. He took notes. He prayed quietly. He gave small offerings. When people came out to dance, he stayed on his seat and closed his eyes. One day, he went to the house of Mr. John, the man whose wife, Mary, had died in his hospital. Mr. John was sitting outside, peeling oranges. Dr. James removed his cap, knelt down, and said, "Please forgive me. I killed your wife and your unborn baby. I cannot bring them back, but I am sorry." Mr. John stood up, looked at Dr. James for a long time, and then said, "I cried for many nights. I almost went mad. But now I see your pain. Stand up. I forgive you." Dr. James cried like a child. That same week, he visited all the families he had hurt. He said sorry. Some forgave him. Some shouted at him. One man even pushed him down. But he never got angry. He took all the pain. He said he deserved it. Then, Dr. James decided to do something good with his life. He gathered some young boys and girls in the village. He said, "Come. I will teach you how to become a good nurse or doctor. I will not hide anything. I will teach you to care for people, not hurt them." The children sat under a mango tree behind his house. He used old books and papers. He taught them how to wash hands, how to check someone's heartbeat, how to talk to sick people, and how to give first aid. He even brought a small table and turned it into a first aid post. When people got small cuts or fevers, they came to Dr. James. He didn't take money. He gave medicine for free. People started to see that he was truly changing. Even Mama Rose, who once cursed him, came with her grandson who had a cough. Dr. James checked the boy, gave him medicine, and said, "Bring him back in 2 days." Mama Rose looked at him and said, "You are not the same man from before." Dr. James smiled. "Yes, I am a new man." But not everyone was happy. Some people didn't want Dr. James to live in the village. They believed he was still evil. They went to the elders and said, "He must leave. We don't want him here." The elders called Dr. James again. "People still fear you," they said. "I understand," he replied. "If you want me to go, I will go." But Pastor Amos stood up and said, "Let him stay. He is doing good now. Let's not throw away someone who is trying to change." The villagers agreed to give him more time. One day, a woman named Adama rushed to Dr. James. Her child had swallowed a coin. The child was choking. "Help! Help!" she screamed. Dr. James ran out, picked up the child, turned him upside down, and tapped his back. The coin came out. The child cried. Everyone clapped. "You saved my baby," Ada said. News spread again. Dr. James saved a child. Little by little, people started to trust him again. Children waved at him. Some came to play near his house. He told them stories. He told them, "If you want to be great, don't do evil. Help people. Pray. Be honest." The children listened. They liked him. One day, Dr. James was walking past the school. He saw that the school had no first aid box. So he went home, brought his only money, and bought small items: bandages, cotton wool, antiseptic. He gave them to the headmaster. "This is for the children," he said. The headmaster smiled and said, "You are not the same Dr. James we knew." Dr. James said, "I have changed." But sometimes, at night, he still cried. He sat on his bed, looked at the stars, and said, "Oh God, I am sorry." Please forgive me again." He wrote down the names of the babies he had hurt. He prayed over each name. He asked God to protect their souls. One day, he went to the bush where he once did rituals. He took holy water and poured it on the ground. "No more blood will be spilled here," he said. "This place is now clean." He planted a tree there. He called it Peace Tree. Villagers began to visit the tree to pray. It became a place of peace. Dr. James also started farming. He planted yams, maize, and tomatoes. He sold them in the market. He used the money to buy books for children and clothes for orphans. People saw his good works and said, "He has truly changed." But even though Dr. James was doing good, he never forgot what he had done. He always said, "Do not make the mistake I made. The devil gives fast money, but later takes away everything. God gives slowly, but his gifts last forever." Dr. James became like a teacher, a helper, and a servant. The government even heard about his change. One day, they sent a health officer to visit Odamuchi. The officer said, "We want to give Dr. James a chance to open a small health post again." Dr. James said, "Thank you, but I will only do it if the people want it." The villagers clapped. They said, "We trust you now." So, a small health post was built. Dr. James worked there with his students. No more secrets. No more evil. Only care. Only love. Only healing. And from that day, the village of Odamuchi was never the same again. They had learned a lesson: a person can change. But the past must never be forgotten. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more story.